Karen. Happy belated birthday. I'm so excited to do this for you for your birthday. And we're going to do a little bit of a yearly check in, just sort of see maybe what the energy is to come. Remember, you can change any of the energies that we see. As people change their minds, as people, work through stuff and move through stuff, things will change. But this is just a little snapshot from today. Let's see, today is Friday, April 24th. Yes, April 24th. We have a lot of stuff moving on in the sky. We've got Venus in Gemini, my natal placement. So look for some sort of fun and fast moving energy to show up when it comes to relationships and work. Um, we've also got Uranus, the planet of unexpected things, coming into Gemini as well. And so that's going to just sort of add to the chaos, to the fun, if you will. I say fun because that's my placement. But there's a lot of stuff going on. And on top of that, when you had your birthday, we had like 6 planets in Aries, which had not been seen in like 20,000 years. So I'm sure that you're feeling this big push and just all of this Aries energy underneath of you. So let's do a little bit of a check in reading for you. I'm going to start with Oracle cards. And I want to say I appreciate you so much. And I'm so grateful and thankful for your understanding with me and patience. This last 6 years has been a wild ride. And I am finally at a place where I think I know what I'm doing. I know I say that a lot and then it changes, but I had a big transitional few months in the last 3 or 4 months, and it's sort of been like a build up to this transition. So I kind of feel like I'm on the other side of something, and hopefully I will be able to show up more. So, with that being said, I did pull back with tarot. I started with tarot. That's where I sort of felt that my witchy, weird self could fit in a weird way. And now, 6 years later, 7 years later, the world is different, and people are accepting astrology, and they're accepting energy work and magic and all of this. And so I took about a year and a half to study manifestation, Neville Goddard, law of assumption. In that year, I also simultaneously was studying male psychology and how men fall in love and how they work, because I don't work with men. I work with women who are dealing with men. And so I felt like I needed to have a background of some sort of how men work and how they show up in the world, so that I could then also help women to understand that, and empower them. So that's where I've been. And because life brings you on journeys and places, I sort of pulled away from tarot. And I've had about 5 or 6 people in the last month and a half reach out and be like, "Are you not doing tarot anymore? Because I really need a tarot reading." So, with that being said, I was like, you know what? I should go back to tarot, because I don't want to alienate or push anybody away that likes my tarot, because I like doing it. I just didn't want to just do that. So I just needed to branch out. So, with all of that being said, I did not mean in any way to push you away or to disappear or anything like that. I was just focused on other things in my education, I will say. But tarot is back because I've had 3 new clients and a bunch of old existing clients ask for it. So we're back, baby. All right, let's do a little oracle reading and see. Well, holy crap. Okay, so I'm also filming on a webcam on my computer, and it is mirrored. It is backwards, so it's tripping me out. So just FYI, deal with me. You're the first one I'm using it on, because I figured we're good. I mean, you've seen my face for all these years, although we haven't met. I would like to meet you in person. But um the this is what we're dealing with. And hopefully I guess I'm saying that I feel comfortable trying a new way of doing things with you around. So that's good. That's a vibe. Okay, so I have I'm already loving this. I have realization. Again, it's going to be backward. Oh, is it not backwards on here? Oh, okay. I'm going to take that back. Maybe. You know why it's tripping me out? Because my phone is backwards. And so I feel like I look backwards, but that's because I'm used to filming on my phone. We just had a moment. We just had a realization. We're going to back up. Realization, and they're not backwards. Ah! We think you're the first one to see it this way. And then give me feedback. Do you think that you like this form better or whatever? Okay, so realization. Number 3, will. Oh, 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 the 13. And peace. Let's see, can I get it? And that's actually a 28, which breaks down to a 10. So I feel like we're in a new cycle, but I feel like there needs to be some sort of a communication when it comes to your home, because in order for a new cycle to begin, there has to be open flows of communication. So I get that because a 3 is communication and a realization. It's like, how could you get to a realization? You have to either have communication with yourself, communication with others, or communication with your higher power or your higher self, depending on how you see that. So realization, number 3, communication, and then you get a realization of some sort. And then number 13, which if we add that together is a 4, and that's will. So there is some sort of a need to have communication in your fourth house of home. Um, and you need the willpower to do it. You need to be willing to do it. You might also need to write a will, right? I'm always going to go with the most obvious thing as well on that when that stands out. So will, you're definitely going to, just look into that. I think it's good. I need to do it. It's good for everybody that has kids to do that. So will, fourth house. And then 10, peace. And she's got this little bubble around her. She looks like she knows what she's doing. Try to center that. She's surrounded by all that beautiful light and protection. And there is a moon in the background back there. You see that? So there is intuition there, but you need to trust your intuition. You need to trust what you are feeling. And I think that even just having a conversation and getting some stuff in order for your next journey will be beneficial and bring you some sort of peace. Okay, let's look. So I calibrated these before I turned the camera on. I was actually drawn to do a reading for myself today, which I like never do, like ever. But I did. So I recalibrated them. So let's see what pops up. Two cards out. Let me get all the cards out and then I'll tell you what I see. You know the deal. It's not like you haven't been here before. I don't mean in this situation. I mean, I mean maybe. I don't know yet. Okay. Girl, you hold on. So I got the Knight of Swords out, the Three of Cups, and the Chariot. The Chariot's what made me be like, ooh, because the Chariot, I'm going to work backwards. Sorry, the Chariot is I've already made a decision and I'm moving forward with something. I can't sit stagnant anymore. I've got to rev that engine and move forward, right? She's made the decision. She's made the decision. That's your major arcana. So I'm going to start with that. So that's the theme of this year is making decisions. Making decisions and then acting on them. So making decisions is the Lover's card, and that's the 6. And it's not the 6. Is it the 6? No, my brain is gone. Anyway, um the Lover's card is your decision making card. That's a major arcana. So it might be the six. My brain is woo. Um, the seven is the Chariot, and it comes right after we make the decision. So it's the Gemini card, the Lovers, and the Cancer card is the Chariot card. So this is like I've already made my decision. I'm just getting my ducks in order, and I'm revving my engines, and I'm moving forward. Okay, Knight of Swords and Three of Cups. So Knight of Swords, Three of Cups is incoming communication, but it could be a little bit sketched. It could be a little bit like all over the place. It's not concise, precise. Let me sit down. Let me have this conversation with you. I've thought out my words. It's like, hey, you, what the hell is going on? Why are you doing this? What, blah, 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 right? It's that. But the Three of Cups is a coming together with your emotions. It's a celebration of emotions. It's a celebration with women. It definitely could be you going on a vacation with your friends, girlfriends, or your family that's close to you that are women. Could be you celebrating with your daughter. But this is a win. This is coming together, celebration, after we've had some. The Two of Cups is right before this, right? And so the Two of Cups is like meeting of the minds, like understanding something. Could be in a business partnership, could be in a relationship, but it's like, okay, we're fully now being seen for what we truly are. It's like the soulmate card in a lot of ways, right? So the Three of Cups then is multiple people coming together and feeling that celebration, feeling that energy. But it's coming after this sort of like incoming communication. So let's see what this is. I can guess, but I like this. Something hiding. It is. Girl. Okay. Set those cards aside for a minute. We're going to look at the Chariot in a minute, but I want to look at um what just popped up. So, what popped up to clarify this celebration is the Four of Wands. So, the Four of Wands is something to do with a home. It's something to do with living with your, you know, living with it's the 1111 card. So it's like living together with the person that you makes sense to you, that understands you, coming together. And there's four people here. So it's like maybe your kids and your family and all of that. I know that you're dealing with a lot of stuff and you have been, but maybe there's some sort of change of season that's coming. And maybe you're changing the way that you're looking at things or the way that you're doing things or the way you're showing up. And this is giving your power back. So it doesn't necessarily mean that the dynamic is going to change, but it means that oh, it means that you're showing up in a different way. And therefore everything around you has to show up in a different way. Because if you show up in your highest way, if you show up, I'm trying to give you the best example, but it's like if you the I have so much to tell you in such a short amount of time when it comes to like manifesting and energy, and that's where I'm coming from, but like we can't do that in this video. So I'm trying to precise it into like small words. But basically, if you choose to be a certain way, everything around you has to show up that way. It has to. That's the way that energy works. That's the way that quantum physics works. And so, if you decide I'm not going to tolerate this any longer and I'm just going to stay in my own business, then everybody else has to stay in their own business because no matter what they do, they can't affect you. Okay? Right? Like, hopefully that makes sense. But I always give the example of like once we really, really choose to be who we want to be and we are who we are, we know who we are. So we're going to stay in our lane, like we're driving, right? And when we're knowing where we're going and we're aware of everything else around us, but we're not letting it affect us, that means that if somebody swerves into our lane and cuts us off, we're going to pull back and let them have that space because that's erratic. Or we're going to move over, get around them, and go forward and past them because we don't want to even deal with that, right? So we're going to be in our own lane, in our own business, and nothing that any other card does is going to bother us or affect us because we're aware, we see what we're doing, and we know our destination. Those people might not know their destination. Those people might not know what they're doing. They might not have a path, a purpose, right? So that's, I guess, what I'm trying to say. Okay. So what I got for on top of that for the Four of Wands is the Eight of Pentacles. This is really working on your craft, working on your business, really putting your head down and putting a lot of your energy into your work. And I think you're also, you got a lot of choices in front of you, got a lot of things and opportunities that are coming about you. But I want you to make sure that the opportunities that you're being given are all legit, because some of them aren't going to be legit. Some of them are going to be amazing and they're going to help you grow, and some of them are going to pull you backwards, and some of them are going to just mess with you. And so this is the card of illusion, disillusion, lots of um options and choices, but pick the one that makes the most sense and that isn't going to trick you into going backwards. And then with the Two of Wands, which I love, this is really looking internally, and it's looking inside from the outside. So you're kind of pulling everything that you have inside and you're looking at it from the outside and you're saying, okay, what do I want to do with this? What do I want to create from this? And from that, you might have some words that you have to yourself, to other people. And because of that, you might celebrate, right? We talked about the Two of Cups before that. And so the Two of Wands showing up makes a lot of sense to me. I really do believe that you are becoming your own soulmate this year if you choose to accept that task. This could be a year of really deep reflection, growth, and understanding who you are as you grow and become, a bigger, better, more wise human being. You're just getting older, and that's how the world works, right? But work is always going to be important to you. I know that's a big thing for you. And congratulations on your new business. I got drunk there many times in my 20s. Lost my keys there a couple times. That's an establishment that I'm used to going to because I grew up in San Anselmo. They used to have like a kids nightclub like right next door too, which was crazy, crazy, crazy. Um, okay, but then I think that all leads to some sort of a celebration within your home life, within your family structure of some sort. Just be aware of illusion and disillusion and anybody trying to show you that something is going to be amazing without you having to put in work. All right, I want to look at the Chariot and see what this path is that you've decided to go on. I'm so excited. Okay, I'm so sorry, but this was the most exciting read I've done for you. Like I left you for a year. What you been doing? Like for real, what you been doing? I don't even think I need to pull any cards. Okay. So the Chariot, you've made a decision, you're moving forward on something, even if this is subconscious and you haven't fully decided, like, I know how to do this. If there's part of you that's like, I need to do this, I'm working on this. You don't need to know how to get to the destination to get to the destination. You just need to get on the road. We're talking a lot about cars right now, and I don't know why. Okay. Major Arcana, the Star, baby. We are healing. You might have made a decision in January or February that this something was just, it was too much. You needed to change something, change a perspective, change a thought pattern, change something going on, and move forward. So this is this card about transmuting that energy, taking whatever is going on inside and that pain from the bottom, the dead fish, all of the bull crap, and transmuting it into something beautiful and bringing it up into the stars and transitioning it into something amazing. The Hierophant. Okay, the Hierophant talks about marriage, it talks about higher learning, higher education, higher spirituality. So for me, with these two together, it feels like you're going on some sort of a spiritual awakening, spiritual journey, self reflection, healing, coming back to yourself, sort of a thing. This is all about taking what you've learned from the outside and transmuting it and healing yourself in some way. Remember, healing is not linear, it's like all over the place. And so this is chunks in progress. So you might be going somewhere where you're learning something, you're healing something within you, and it's taking you to a deeper place in your spirituality, a deeper place in your understanding of who you are, who humans are, what society is, all of these big things, these things that we're all kind of uncovering, right? And this is very much on track with what's happening astrologically over the next year and next 2 years. I think next year you're going to see some wild ass crap going on that you probably were like, I don't even know if that, like, that's science fiction, but it's real, and you're going to see it next year, and I'm so excited, but we'll get to that next year. So anyways, this year is all about transmuting, healing, and getting all your shit right, because if you don't get yourself aligned and right by the time we hit next year, and Pluto really starts to break through into Aquarius, and Uranus is in Gemini, and all this stuff is happening, then we're going to be stuck in depression and frustration and anger, because we're either going to get deeper into those negative feelings, or we're going to get higher into those vibrational vibes, and we're going to move forward. It's the only choice. And I think that you're there, and I think you want to do that. And you may be lost, you may be confused, you may be scared on how to do that, but just start doing that. Just start doing that. Okay. It's all about your intuition, baby. Two of Swords. You've gotten so many twos. Twos are amazing. Twos are like, okay, I've made the decision and I know I need to move forward, right? And so twos are great. And this is Two of Swords. This is like, I know my intuition is telling me to do something, but I'm not trusting it. Because we've already decided to move forward on something, but now we're learning how to move forward on it. And that's hard because we've never done it before. And so we have to have data and statistics behind us in order to say, okay, this works. You own a business. You're not going to do something that doesn't make sense, that doesn't sell, right? So it's the same thing with you as a human integrating your feelings together. You have to actually have the data that this works in order to continue to do it, right? I wouldn't be healing myself for 10 years if I didn't have the data to show that it works. I feel better. I'm a better human being. I'm calmer. I'm more peaceful in chaos because I've healed myself, healing myself. I'm sure there's so much more to heal. It comes up every day. But this is about trusting that if you listen to yourself, if you take the time to work on healing yourself, you will be able to do it because your intuition is strong. Just start. Page of Pentacles, just start. Just start. Pentacles are slow moving. It takes a while. Pages, they get the idea, the inkling, and then they've got to go for it, right? But then you'll get to a king, and then you'll pass to emperor, but you've got to start. You've got to start the healing process. Okay, let's look at what that kind of looks like. Give you some first steps on how to heal. Damn, that was a flyer. Four of Wands came out again. Your home. Something's going on in that home. We need to be able to celebrate in our home, feel safe in our home, feel like our four walls, the four corners of or a castle are something to celebrate, to enjoy. Everybody feels safe. Everybody feels comfortable. There's something there. We got to start in the home. We had that pop up in the Oracle too, so go back and look at that. Yep. I, that page is back again, right? So starting in the home. What are we starting? We're starting in the home. On the bottom of the deck, I glanced and I saw the Five of Cups. So the Five of Cups is all about being sad about something that we might lose, sad about losing something that we've built for so long, sad about all the spilled wine, all of that spilled wine at the bottom there. But back here, can you see it? Oh, that doesn't work. It's not touchscreen. Back here, we have all of this amazing, amazing food and wine and beverages. So there's more for you that's better than what you could actually have. And you know what's crazy? Because I have a Post-it note sitting here on my little desk, and it says, the universe doesn't take anything away unless it has something better in store. And that's something that I have for myself that I look at because I need reminders too. All right, let's get a couple more cards and just see. So, yeah, this is the Six of Pentacles. Balance. You've got to figure out who you're giving to, who you don't want to give to, who's giving to you. It's got to be equal give and take, girl. This is the tough love part. Ready? If you're showing up for somebody and they're doing nothing but taking from you, gaslighting you, making you feel like crap, don't give to them anymore. Take all that energy and give it back to yourself, to your kids, but mostly to yourself. You have to be self-ish to be selfless. You have to be selfish to be selfless. Put the mask on yourself before you put it on anybody else. You're no good to anybody if you're dead. Okay? And I don't mean dead like dead. I mean like exhausted. You do that, you get the Ten of Cups. You get everything you've been wanting. You get all of the love and the money and the food and the happiness and all that emotional wealth, but you might be giving it to yourself. That's the hard part about this, right? to take it. Okay. Yeah. So 4 of cups. That makes less sense. So I've got so many cups on here. Cups, 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 cups. 4, 6, and 10. And I'm gonna love that. No, 4, 5, and 10. But I do have the 6 of Pentacles. Okay, 4, 5, and 10. It's a good progression, right? So we're stuck in this sadness. But what if? What if? What if? What if? And we got there because where are you, Beth? We got there because he's looking at this cup going, I don't want to give this up. I don't want to give this up. And this dude is like, right, this is the 4. This is before the 5. The dude is like, but I have a cup for you. It's brand new. It's beautiful. Look at the ocean. Look at everything. Look at, oh my God, it's so amazing. And he's like, but I don't want to give these up. I'm going to miss this. And he's like, dude, don't hold on. Why are you holding on? This is sadness. This is the card of fast aging. The more sadness, the more regret we hold, the faster we age on our face. I'm not kidding. But then you got the 5 of Cups. Well, shit, I spilled the damn wine, and now I'm sad over it. You were sad, you spilled it, and now you're sad. But you've got stuff. He promised you would have goodies. And look, you're by the ocean, you got goodies. Here's by the ocean, here's the goodies. You got them. And when you accept that, the 10 of Cups. Okay, I'm going to pour one more card. I'm going to pull one more. Actually, I'm not going to do a tarot card. I'm going to do my big love oracle. Hold on. Okay, the more I do this, the more I'm like, okay, growth, mirrors, shared vision. Do I have to explain it? I mean, I will real quick, but you there's growth. It's asking you for growth. You're asking for growth. You need growth. Look at this. Sun, moon, opposites, opposites, mirrors, looking deep within, seeing the opposites of each other, seeing all your reflections, seeing all the stuff you've got to work on, really seeing it from a mirror perspective, not from an internal perspective, right? When we do mirrors, it's like if you were looking at somebody else from the outside, you could see everything going on with them that they had to heal, right? You need to do that to yourself. You need to look at yourself from the outside and go, oh, that's my bullshit, right? And I know you've done that, but like that's the first step in healing is calling out your own bullshit. Healing your bullshit is the second step of that. The third step is noticing other people's bullshit. And then the fourth step is helping other people heal their bullshit. I'm on the fourth step. But then I go back sometimes to the first step. I mean, it's a ping pong ball, right? And then shared vision. You're going to find people that are like minded. You're going to find people. There's a reason you were connected to me. Okay. There's a reason why you've been drawn to me. There's a reason why I've been in your life for all of these years. And you've been in my life for all of these years. I feel so grateful to have you in my life because I've learned so much from doing readings with you and just experimenting with my style and what I'm doing. And I think that I know for me, the more that I lean into what I'm doing and my authenticness and healing and growth, the more I find people who share my visions. And I think that you're going to find the same thing. So that's your yearly little birthday bonus. I'm so grateful that you are still in my life and that you have been patient with me and have dealt with me because I know that I have been in and out, but I really do want to do this full time. And I'm at the spa part time right now. And I'm doing some in care, in home help for a friend of mine and her children and stuff like that on the meantime. And so in between those times, I really do want to do this. This is what I want to do all the time. So tarot, birth charts, you've already done that. We can do transit readings. Coaching is really what I really want to do because eventually I want to grow a group of strong, independent women, like-minded women who want to do retreats. So that's where we're headed next is retreats. And I'm building a group of facilitators in the background that can help me with that. Massage therapists and spiritual people of other areas, Reiki practitioners. So look out for that, and I will talk to you soon.